Shadows over Tulsa. Chapter 1, A Strange Homecoming. When I stepped off the sweltering confines of the crosstown bus, I had only two things on my mind: girls and what kind of mood Derry would be in. The summer sun of 76 hung low in the sky as I made my way back through my hometown after my second year at the University of Tulsa dorms. The transition from the ivory towers of academia to the modest, rundown neighborhood of Crutchfield across town was always a stark one. My pursuit of becoming a high school English teacher fueled my journey, carrying with it the quiet hope that my words would one day grace more than just the pages of my notebooks. Perhaps they'd find a home in a published novel or, if not that, at least a darn magazine. As I stepped off the bus and onto the familiar turf of the North Side, memories of my friends and the adventures we'd shared flooded my mind. However, the prospect of facing Derry once more, my eldest brother, brought a knot of apprehension to my stomach. Soda had moved out with Two-Bit in a cramped bachelor apartment, leaving me no choice but to share the same roof with Derry once again. Our strained relationship, a product of clashes over the years, added an extra layer of tension to my summer homecoming. To my surprise, as I opened the door to the Curtis house, the usual atmosphere of brooding was replaced by cheers and laughter. The gang had gathered to welcome me back: Two-Bit, Steve, Soda, and a newcomer, Mark, Johnny's half-brother. The warm reception did little to ease the knot in my stomach, but at least it hinted at a summer that might not be entirely fraught with the usual family drama. "Look who decided to grace us with his presence," Two-Bit teased, clapping me on the back. Yeah. Good to see you too," I replied, offering a half-smile. Derry, leaning against the doorway, acknowledged my return with a nod, though the tension between us remained unspoken. Soda, distracted by his new girlfriend, chattered away, unintentionally diverting Derry's attention. The house felt both familiar and foreign, the absence of Johnny leaving a void that not even the gang's camaraderie could entirely fill. After the revelry had broken up, slightly before midnight, I retreated to my old room. Books lined makeshift shelves and my typewriter waited patiently on the desk. The decision that had lingered in my mind resurfaced: classical literature like Margaret Mitchell or the realms of science fiction inspired by Ray Bradbury. The question was as unresolved as the tension accompanying my return home. As the night wore on, my hopes of reconnecting with Scout, Belinda Jenkins, as she was known now, were dashed. She was conspicuously absent, and a pit settled in my stomach as the gang mentioned she hadn't been seen for days. The universe, it seemed, conspired to keep us apart, teasing with the promise of a reunion only to snatch it away. Belinda had been a tomboy with a troubled home life who hated her name. We had become fast friends and spent many hours talking quietly about life from the old steel railway bridge. I had been the one to suggest she start to go by the name Scout after the character from To Kill a Mockingbird. At first, she thought I was just teasing her, since I had such a love-slash-hate relationship with my own name Ponyboy. But it stuck to her like glue. Over the next couple years, she changed from a tomboy to a girl that would have made even Dally's head turn. We messed around a bit as kids do, but it never felt like a good time to fall in love, what with me planning on running away to college. So we were on again, off again steady. Since she graduated high school, she had gone back to the name Belinda, and only a handful of us greasers still called her Scout. A new face joined the group this year: Mark, Johnny's half-brother. Every time I looked at him, it was as if Johnny's ghost lingered in the background, a painful reminder of a chapter we all wished to forget. My attempts at warming up to Mark felt futile, the wounds of the past still too fresh. Night fell, and the oppressive heat refused to dissipate. I managed to fall asleep somehow, but it was a fright-filled sleep. In the dream world, Johnny's death in the burning building, images of Scout being abducted off our bridge, aliens at Area 51, 1,300 miles to the west, the mushroom clouds of nuclear bombs being tested in the desert, and the black and white Tulsa race riots of 1921 all fought for space in my overcrowded brain. It was a twisted tapestry woven from the fears and scars of our shared history. When I woke in the middle of the night soaked in sweat, further sleep eluded me, prompting my escape from the stifling air of the house. The park, with its memories of Johnny's tragic end, beckoned in the darkness. Seeking solace in a place that held the echoes of our lost innocence felt ironic yet inevitable. As I reached the park, the stillness hung heavy in the air. The old merry-go-round, a relic of our childhood, creaked eerily in the quiet night. The rhythmic squeaks seemed to resonate with the ghosts of our past. The sudden appearance of Mark out of the shadows gave me a start that he mercifully let by without further comment. He professed to not being able to sleep, but like Johnny had, I suspect he was fleeing from a house full of violence and turmoil. We lay on the cool metal of the carousel, staring up at the star-studded sky. We shared tentative memories of Johnny, the greasers, and the endless Oklahoma nights. Neither of us made a mention of it when our eyes filled with tears. A sense of foreboding lingered, intensifying as the images from my nightmares replayed in my mind. We must have nodded off because I awoke to find the park transformed. The merry-go-round spun ever so slowly, apparently powered by some unseen force, while shadows danced in the moonlight. While the stars were still visible overhead, the horizon showed dark black and purple clouds that often forewarned of dreaded tornadoes. Panic seized me as I realized Mark lay beside me, equally confused in the dream world. The darkened sky seemed to pulse with an otherworldly force, and a chill ran down my spine. Then, as sudden as it had all appeared, the sun seemed to burst over the horizon, and the first rays of daylight caused the clouds to seemingly retreat in defeat. The merry-go-round was stationary once again. What the hell is happening? I muttered, my voice swallowed by the strange energy enveloping us. Mark, stirred from his uneasy slumber, shot me a bewildered glance. I don't know, man. Sometimes I kick my feet in the dark. It must have been me. Sorry. A force, unseen yet palpable, had surrounded us. It had whispered of ancient secrets and unspeakable horrors, a manifestation of the nightmares within our past. The boundaries between reality and dream had blurred as the merry-go-round taunted us with chaos. In the aftermath of the otherworldly connection, I clung to the hope that this was just a twisted dream, a manifestation of my anxieties. Yet, as the merry-go-round creaked when we stood up, I couldn't shake the feeling that the shadows of Tulsa held secrets far more profound than any I had ever imagined.